She signed a deal worth £90 million. Her album made $114 million in 6 weeks, 16 Grammys, 2 Album of the Year wins that almost no other woman in history has matched, a $130 million stadium built just for her tour. Adele had everything fame is supposed to give you. So when she turned down a $200 million deal to keep touring, the music industry assumed there had to be a catch, bad health, a contract dispute, something. There wasn't. What she'd lost wasn't something more money could buy back. And once Adele figured out exactly what fame had taken from her, she stopped playing by the industry's rules entirely. Born Adele Laurie Blue Adkins in 1988 in South London, she grew up obsessed with soul singers decades older than her, Etta James, Ella Fitzgerald, and built a voice that sounded like it belonged to a different generation entirely. By 19, she'd already won a Grammy. By 21, literally the album called 21, she had the biggest song on the planet, Rolling in the Deep.
Scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it back.
Rolling in the Deep hit #1 in 11 countries. Then came the night that changed everything, 2012, when she swept the Grammys, taking Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year in a single ceremony. 4 years later, 25 didn't just sell, it broke the model labels used to predict sales. 10 million copies, 6 weeks. An average of 1.7 million records sold every single week, before the album had even been out 2 months. By every metric the industry uses to measure success, Adele had maxed them out. Grammys, sales records, a place in history only one other woman had ever reached. She'd built an empire most artists spend a lifetime chasing. But empires come with maintenance costs nobody warns you about. That £90 million deal everyone celebrated. It wasn't a payday, it was a loan. In the music industry, an advance that size means you owe the label until you sell enough to pay it back, dollar for dollar. So the expectations stopped being about the music. They became about the machine. Every album now had to perform like a business quarter, not a creative project. And the machine wanted more than her songs, it wanted her life. Cameras followed her everywhere. When she postponed her Las Vegas residency, fans who'd paid up to £26,000 a ticket turned on her overnight. The adoration that once felt like a dream started feeling like a demand. At first, it seemed like a small trade, a bit of privacy for a historic career, but over time, the cost kept growing. Eventually, Adele started making decisions that made no sense to anyone counting the money. Decisions that would only make sense once you understood what she'd actually lost. Here's how the machine actually works. That £90 million advance isn't free money, it's a loan against future royalties. Her management takes 15% off the top. She covers every producer, every songwriter, every studio session herself. Until the album sells enough to clear that debt, she doesn't see a dime in royalties. Then there's the spectacle. In Munich, the label didn't just rent a stadium, they built one. A custom, reusable structure designed for 74,000 people a night at a cost of $130 million. The screen was engineered for one reason, so that someone in the very last row, watching a woman the size of a thumbnail on the stage, could still feel like they were standing next to her. That's the trade. The bigger the machine gets, the smaller the actual person becomes inside it. Adele wasn't just an artist anymore. She was infrastructure for managers, producers, venues, an entire industry that needed her next album to perform like a quarterly earnings report. She wasn't singing her songs anymore. She was keeping the lights on for everyone standing behind her. By 2022, the math had caught up with her. Adele had been recording, promoting, and touring almost non-stop for over a decade. And 3 days before her Las Vegas residency was set to open, she pulled the plug. She didn't release a press statement first. She posted a video of herself, visibly shaking, barely able to get the words out, apologizing directly to fans. "My show ain't ready," she said.
Hi, listen, I'm so sorry, but my show ain't ready. We've tried absolutely everything that we can to put it together in time and for it to be good enough for you, but we've been absolutely destroyed by delivery delays and COVID. Half my crew, half my team are down with COVID, they still are. And it's been impossible to finish the show.
Half her stage hadn't even been finished due to COVID-related delays. She'd reached a point where finishing on time mattered less than finishing right, and she said so, on camera, in tears. The industry didn't see exhaustion, it saw a missed deadline. Fans who'd paid thousands for tickets and flights were furious. Headlines called it a failure, not a breakdown. And that's the part nobody talks about. The most successful artist on the planet, at the absolute peak of her career, broke down crying on camera rather than walk on stage half-ready, and the response was outrage, not concern. That's when something shifted in how Adele thought about success. So what's the actual bill? Most people guess wrong. They think the cost of fame is privacy, or criticism, or the physical grind of a world tour. It's none of those. The real cost is freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever she wants, money buys that, the freedom to fail. The day she signed that £90 million advance, failure stopped being an option. A normal artist can release a flop and try again next year. Adele couldn't. Every album had to outperform the last one, or she'd stay in debt to a label that had already paid her in full. She lost the freedom to disappear too. In Munich, she performed for 74,000 people a night, in a stadium built specifically for her, and from the back rows, she was a speck on a stage, visible only because of a screen engineered to make her look life-sized. The woman who once said, "I don't make music for eyes, I make music for ears," had become the most watched, most photographed, least anonymous person in the building. And she lost the freedom to make mistakes. When she postponed Vegas, it wasn't treated as a personal low point, it was treated like a missed shipment. Because by that point, Adele's record sales alone made up roughly 3% of the entire UK album market. When you're that large a piece of an entire industry's revenue, a bad week isn't a bad week, it's a headline. Fame gave her the world. What it quietly took, in exchange, was the right to just be a person, to fail without consequence, to disappear without explanation, to make a mistake without it becoming national news. That's the bill nobody warns you about. And once Adele actually read it in full, she made a decision the industry still hasn't gotten over. Here's the answer to the question from the start of this video. Adele turned down $200 million because she'd finally done the math on what staying out there would actually cost her. And for the first time, that cost wasn't measured in dollars. She realized she'd been treated as a guarantee. Sell out the stadium, generate the revenue, keep the machine running every single time. Guarantees don't get to rest. They don't get to say no. So she started saying no anyway. She pulled 25 off streaming for months, forcing an industry built on instant access to wait for her instead of the other way around. Then she turned down the tour extension, walking away from more money than most artists see in a lifetime, because every extra date was a date she wasn't living her own life. To the people counting the money, it looked like self-sabotage. To Adele, it was the first decision in years that wasn't about the machine. She had 16 Grammys, 2 Album of the Year wins almost no one else has matched. By every number the industry uses to keep score, she'd already won the game. She just stopped needing the machine to keep proving it.
At the Grammys, and I was pregnant, so I just love that dress.
Who's your fashion icon?
Kate Blanchett.
Who always gets it right on the red carpet?
Kate Blanchett.
Okay. And what do you never leave the house without wearing?
Pink earrings.
Who makes your favorite eyeliner?
Pat McGrath.
And what fashion advice can you offer me right now?
Just keep on doing what you're doing. Comfort over style.
Thank you.
That's what I do too.
We are taught that success only moves in one direction, up. More money, more followers, more rooms with your name on the marquee. We celebrate the milestone and assume the story ends there. What we don't see is the ledger underneath it. Every yes you say to a bigger opportunity is also a yes to something you'll quietly owe later, your time, your privacy, the version of you that existed before anyone was watching. That's not just true for global pop stars. It's true for the promotion you fought for, the business you scaled, the platform you built. The bigger the stage gets, the easier it becomes to disappear inside it. The most valuable thing you'll ever own isn't the title, the trophy, or the number in your account. It's the ability to walk away from something good because it isn't right and still recognize yourself afterward. Adele had the Grammys, she had the records, she had, by any measure the industry uses, already won. And the moment she understood that winning and being free weren't the same thing, she stopped chasing one to protect the other. Adele figured out what fame actually costs. She just refused to keep paying it.